Once again, good morning, guys. So here we have a project, a transcription project for the Odia, Bengali, Punjabi, and right now Assamese language. So right now in these four languages, we are have a transcription ongoing project. So in this, that files will be recorded audios. Like we will give a topic to the recording person and ask them to speak about the topic. So they will have a conversation and it will be recorded. We have a specific tool for it. So in the tool they are doing it, and the audios uh, will be less noise only. If there is any much noise in the audio, it will be rejected. Don't worry about the noise part or anything, whether how the noise is very heavy. Heavy means how can we do that? Here we will check the audio quality and then only we will upload it. If it is good only, we can upload it in the portal for your work. Okay, and one more thing, the transcription means here whatever the native language you are hearing, like the audio was playing in Bengali, means if you are hearing the audio in Bengali, you just need to type it in Bengali whatever the speaker is saying. In the transcription, the blind rule is what you hear you need to type it. We don't need to do anything like correcting it or anything. Whatever the speaker was saying in that audio, we have to type it exactly. And here, based on the project, there will be separate guidelines for each and every process. Like a project, they have according to the client requirement, the guidelines will be changed. So for some Bengali and English words, they need to type it in entirely in the Bengali only. And for some clients, Bengali words, we need to type it in Bengali, and the foreign language like English words or any other foreign language words, we need to type it in that particular representative language. Like if you generally in nowadays commonly we are using English words, like hello sir, hi sir, bank, how are you, like that. We are not speaking in your native language for those words. So those words are in our particular project. Those words, if you listen any English words, we need to type it in English only. Like it is a common using terms also, we need to type it in English, like bank, so what. These are the common terms now we are using for the communication. So those you don't calculate it as a Bengali or your native language. That is English, right? If it is an English language, you need to type it in English. If it is a Bengali or whatever the native language you are working, you have to type it in that language only. Okay, these are the transcription guidelines briefly, and then let me share my screen. So I will explain the portal on which we are going to work, the Labely tool. So one second, I will share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. And this is the tool which we are going to work now. This is called Labely tool. So here the login credentials will be provided by us only. You don't need to worry about anything. For each and individual agent, there will be a separate login ID. Okay, there will be three in this. There will be three steps. One is the transcription, and then the proofreading, like it was a QC, and then the manager. They will again recheck it, and then they will submit to the client. Okay, here you are going to do the transcription part only, the first step. So for that there will be a separate login IDs for each and every individual agent. So we have to log in using those login IDs. But this is an manager ID, so which I am using for the sample training purpose. So you will not get a ID like this. You will get a different ID, annotator ID. So once you copy and paste the login IDs, you can log in. The work link will be provided by us. You don't need to worry about it. And one second, guys. So here you can see. Someone. So here, once you have opened with your login IDs, your portal will be open like this. So here you can see the sample, but the files which you are going to work, you will get your name. Like Dev is going to work means For example, Dev is going to work on a Bengali, means Bengali Dev. Like that, the project name will be added, so that you can easily find out what are the files you have assigned to you particularly. If there is any other projects available also, you can easily find by that way. Okay, now how to open the task. So here you can see the option, so click on it and then you will get an option like a dashboard, but here it was a manager ID, so that's why it was giving the options for the managing users and data and settings, but you only got the option like dashboard. You click on the dashboard and then it will lead to the next page. Then the next page, the information what will be there means you will get an information accordingly how many files has been given to you and how many files you have completed and what are those accuracy levels. And then in the below you can see a start annotation button, so you have to click on that. But here, like I said, this is a manager ID, so that's why it was not coming like this. Okay, 1 second. So in this, what we need to do is, while clicking on the start annotation, the file will be loaded. Okay, you don't need to worry. Once you click on the start annotation, that file will be alerted in that particular ID. Okay, for example, they has a 5 or 3 people. We can create a single project name and then we can upload 5 folders in that, five files in that, and then we can assign 5 IDs for that particular project, and whoever was taking the files first, that will be allocated, and that will be stick on in that ID. Once you submit only, it will disappear. Okay, you don't need to worry whether we are hoping to take a break for 30 minutes or something. If I close the file will be gone or nothing will happen. So here once you click on the start annotation and then until you submit the file will be in your ID only. Okay, about that you don't need to worry. So once you click on the start annotation, the file will be automatically loaded. So here you can see I will click on here, the file was loading. So the file will be loaded like this. For the new agent who was logging in this, the file will be loaded like this. So we need to minimize these things. Here this particular section of label was used to check the how many audios was there in the particular ID. So this is a manager ID there, that will be useful for us. So how to minimize it, you have to click here, you have to place the cursor here and then click on it and then minimize it by dragging it. Okay, and then again we have to minimize it outliner. Here the outliner section is useful for how many segments we are created, and to go on a particular segment, if anything is missing about the transcription, while you click on that particular segment, it will automatically list to you. For example, if you are at the end of the wavelength, if you need to go to the first segment, you can open this outliner section and then you can click on the first segment you have created. It will automatically jump into the first segment. For that it was useful. Okay, you have to minimize this by using this button. Click on it and then it will be minimized. And here also the annotation history details will be opened like this before. Once you open the file, it will here it also you need to close it, because to have a better visibility of the wavelength to divide the segmentation properly. Here making the segmentation accurately is very important task. So that's why to have a clear visibility we need to minimize these things. Okay, by clicking on here you can see minimize. Whenever you need this section, you can simply open it and then you can minimize it. This section is useful to if we created any segment mistakenly, we need to delete that particular segment. Means here you can see I have already created one segment before, more segments, and I have clicked on here delete annotation. The entire segments has been deleted, so that's why we are not using this particular delete option here. Whenever we need to delete any particular segment like this, we can click on the segment whichever we need to delete, and then we can easily open this particular section, detail section, and then you can see a delete option. If you click on the delete, the particular segment, selected segment would be deleted. Okay, deleting particular segment you need to use from here. No, don't use these options. Okay, so these are the speakers and the overlap. Overlap means what it is overlap. So like I said, this is a recorded audio while the two speakers are speaking at the, they're having a conversation. Sometimes what happens when one person is saying something, the other speaker will interfere. Na? Like he was, they were having a conversation, and then immediately the second speaker have any doubts or he need to interfere it, like he was saying wrong, he need to object it, so he will interfere and he will speak about it. Now when having a conversation, it will lead to an argument also. In the argument, both will interfere, na? Both will speak at a time. So who in the wavelength, in this particular wavelength in the audio, uh, wherever you are getting both voices at the same time, that particular wavelength segment should be marked as a overlap, because two speakers are speaking at the same time. Okay, that means overlap. If the two speakers are saying at the same time about a topic, that will be an overlap. So and uh, there will be other type of overlap also, but that is, if one speaker is explaining something or saying something, the other speaker will simply use the dumb words like hmm, yeah,
Filler words actually.
filler words. Yes, those filler words will, we will not calculate it as a overlap, because those are filler words, that those are responses, na?
Yeah.
In responses we don't calculate as a overlap, but if the how do we calculate it as overlap means, if the overlap is happening with the words exchange. Okay, if the speech was exchanging between two at the same time, means that will be an overlap. If the filler words are exchanging, that will be not an overlap. I hope you got this point, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, this point
Yes,
is
yes.
clear to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is
So
clear.
at that particular overlap response, we don't need to create any particular overlap segment. We just create a simple segment, speaker one or speaker two, wherever the speaker is saying. At that particular overlap response, we will insert a unintangible tag. We don't type that filler word also. We will type the unintangible tag. That things I will explain you clearly, but briefly I was explaining you now. What are the segments here? What are the speaker labels here? And the wavelength. So here you can see these are how playing fastly and playing slowly the audio. If the speaker is speaking very regressive, fastly means you can slow it down and you can hear the slow voice. This is not the volume, this is the volume button. And here you can see the zoom in options vertically and horizontally and vertically. So here also you can see the play button and one step back, one step ahead, forward button. And here at what segment, at particular wavelength we are working, and it is the maximum length, like how, what are the duration of the audio which has been loaded in the portal for you. So you can see here it was 14 minutes 42 seconds, 399 milliseconds file. Okay, so this was the interface we are going to work. So first thing is, we need to zoom in. We need to zoom in here. How to zoom in? Because the wavelength is was minimized to maximum extent. If you zoom in only, we can easily find out wherever there is a space or noise, or there is a blank, or where the speaker one is speaking correctly. Because we need to mark the segments exactly on the wavelength, we need to accurately mark the timings. Okay, so that's why we will use this zoom in. You can see here horizontally, while clicking on it, you can see the graph was moving, the wavelengths are increasing. So you can increase up to wherever you can feel comfortable. Okay, so here you can see the timing 0 seconds, and it will go on 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, until it was a 10-second file. 1 second, I will increase it again. So this is the wavelength. So right, up to my comfortable level, whoever the agent working, up to their comfortability, you can increase the graph wavelength. Okay, to find out the exact wavelength points, how to mark, because the marking of the wavelength is precisely we have to mark it exactly. We don't need to give any extra spaces in front and last of the marking segment. Okay, up to your comfortability, you can increase the wavelength. And then how to play the segment and how to create a speaker, The next thing I will explain. Up to now, do you have any doubts? Up to now, whatever I have explained, you guys have any doubts regarding this? What are the points I have explained to you? This will be an interactive session. I will be asking question in middle of it whether you have understood or not, so that I can understand that you are understanding it properly. So somebody was messaging. Yeah, Amit.
Yes, my question is, can I explain again the overlap portion?
Yeah, sure I will do. The whole up to now, for the overlap, what you have got an idea about what I was explaining.
No, earlier
What you see?
when I want earlier I attend this kind of a training regarding the translation. That time we inform about that if two people are talking and overlapping, then that time there is no other option. Like here we are seeing speaker one, speaker two, and overlap. So that time I did not see this portion. That's why I'm asking you how I will use the overlap sections here.
You have a better idea about what is overlap, right?
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah, this thing I will explain you in the next instructions. While I'm explaining one by one, I will explain you how to mark it, how to use it. Okay.
Okay.
Apart from that, up to now, is there any doubt with you guys?
No.
Just
Earlier I
one
had.
question.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said that we can mark the portion where we want to translate like 0 seconds to 14 seconds. Maximum sequence can be 15 seconds, right?
Yes.
So we need to drag and drop for the mark, right?
Yes.
Or select. Uh, can we input time for those segments? Like I want to create a segment from 0 second to
No,
10
no, no.
seconds.
Here
The,
in this particular tool, we can use the mouse to create the segment. We
okay.
cannot. We have to drag it only. We cannot have an
Mhm.
option to input the time or
Got
anything.
it. Got it. Thank you.
From the mouse only, we are doing the major parts of the work.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Got it.
and here the wavelength I have increased it up to my comfortability. So if I
Mhm.
go need to check the next above the 10 seconds or 1 minute audio means how to move the wavelength or how to scroll it means simply we have to what we have to do is you have to place the cursor on the wavelength and then you can use the mouse scroller. So you can see I was scrolling it down, it was moving up, like you can see the 30, it was moving up 40. So if I go to, again I go into backwards means I will scroll it up. Okay, using the
Mhm.
mouse scroller you can scroll it down and you can scroll it up, and by using the pointer when I need to play the audio from 1 minute, I will like 20 seconds means I will place the cursor here and I will point it out. I will click on it, and then you can see that it was selected from here. If I play from here, it will be played from here. Again, if I need to play from here also, again I will click on that particular section, wavelength, and I will play. So if I need to play from 1 second means I will click on it and I will play. Like using the scroll on the cursor, you can easily play wherever you require. But from starting itself, you need to create the segmentation. The segmentation is nothing but if wherever the speaker one is speaking, there we will mark that particular area of the wavelength separately as a speaker one, and wherever there is a voice of the speaker two, we will mark it separately as a speaker two. So nothing much in this. Was here in this particular project, we ignore the silent spots and the noise spots. Okay, we don't need to mark any noise or separate segment for the silent spot or anything. Wherever in the wave, according to the wavelength, wherever the speech was there, we will mark that only. We will not mark the silent segments. For I will play it. First, I will play the 30 seconds audio, and then I will explain you the rest. Okay.
That means there will be no speech segment, right?
আপনি কে বলছেন?
Yes, there will be no noise or silence segment. We will be just creating whatever the options here, speaker one, speaker two, overlap segments, right? Overlap labels. Those labels will be used. There will be
These are
no
the three major rules actually, right? Hmm. Got it.
whatever you are getting in this particular section, or that will be created only.
Yeah.
Okay. For the
Yeah.
noise and for the remaining thing in the middle of the speech, if there is any noise or anything, we will use the tag. That why we don't create any particular separate segment for that. We will use the noise tag or music tag in between wherever we are getting. But as of now, noise tag was not been using. But the coughing, laughing, babble,
Laughing,
laughing and
crying,
crying. Those labels has
music.
been using. That we will share you the guidelines clearly. In that guidelines, you can see the all the taggings. In that noise tag was not using by us as of now. Okay, client has no requirement for the noise tag.
One question here.
Yes, yes.
In shape, we are seeing, we saw that if we press 1, 2, 3, there's pop-up sound text, right?
There will be no options
Pop-up.
available right now. There will be no
So I
pop-ups.
have to do it in manually, right?
Manually means we will send you the list. You can copy and paste it.
Got it. It's some kind of manual process. No problem. Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I will play the audio. Let me know the audio is audible or not.
Yeah, audio is audible.
So please listen it. I will play up to 30 seconds.
আমি দেবযানী কথা বলছিলাম।
হ্যাঁ বলুন।
আপনি কে বলছেন একটু জানতে পারি কি?
আমার হচ্ছে জয়প্রকাশ রাও। কিভাবে কথা মানে কি?
জয়প্রকাশ কথা বলছেন তো? আমি আসলে দেইলা শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠান থেকে ফোন করেছিলাম আপনাকে। তো আমরা কি একটু আমাদের প্রাথমিক শিক্ষা থেকে একটু আলোচনা করতে পারি? 15-20 মিনিট কথা বলার সময় হবে কি আপনার সাথে?
হ্যাঁ আছে, ওকে বলুন।
বলছিলাম যে আপনার যেটা হচ্ছে আপনার প্রাথমিক শিক্ষা কোথা থেকে শুরু হয়েছিল, ক্লাস 4 এই বিষয়ে একটু জানতে চেয়েছিলাম।
So up to here you have listened the audio, no? So how to know whoever is speaker 1 and whoever is speaker 2. Here in the audio, when I was playing the audio, whenever wherever the voice came, whosoever the voice came first, that will be considered as a speaker 1, and the next person voice will be considered as a speaker 2. But in this audio, here there is a male and female, so we can easily identify who is speaker 1 and who is speaker 2. But in some audios there will be both males and both females. By the time we need to identify their we have to remember their voice, and whenever you are getting their voice, we need to mark it accordingly, the speaker 1 and speaker 2. So here can I know who is speaker 1 and who is speaker 2? Anyone can tell me who is speaker 1 here?
So female is the speaker 1 here.
Why the female is speaker 1 and why the female?
She started the conversation.
Okay.
So that's why she's speaker 1, and the male voice, he replied later, and he is speaker 2. As simple as that.
Yes. In the conversation was started whenever the audio was played. The first conversation, whoever was started, that will be considered as a speaker 1, and the next person who replied to that will be considered as a speaker 2, and for the rest of the audios, that will be applied, right?
Yeah.
So now how to create a segment here? So I know here. So from here to here, I heard a voice. So how to create this segment means, if I need, here I need to create the speaker 1 or speaker 2.
Speaker 1.
Yes. So to creating a speaker 1, again use the mouse only. So we don't we have to play the audio and we have to listen it. 1 second, guys, I'm getting call. So here, according to the wavelength, we have to select it. So selection of the wavelength, how to do it means, we have to place the cursor exactly at the wavelength, and then we have to click on it, and then you can hold the cursor and you have to drag it. Okay. So you can see this segment has been created, but I haven't selected any speaker. So without selecting the speaker, and if you are creating the segment, that will be not good. Like it will be useful. The speaker segment has been not selected here because I haven't selected any speaker here. So how to do like this? We don't need to do. If you click on it, you can see it was disappear. So to create a permanent segment, what we have to do is, here I need to click on the speaker first. Whatever the speaker label I need to create, I can decide now by listening the audio. So here I decided that here it is the speaker 1. So I will click on the speaker 1. So this will be highlighted, and then I will take the cursor and place the cursor at exactly at the wavelength, and I will click on it, and then I will hold the cursor and I will drag it. up to where it was ended. So now you can see the segment has been deleted in this color. The segment has been created. So to play it and to transcribe in this particular segment, what we have to do is once the segment is created, you need to click on that segment and you need to select the segment. You can see in the below there is a provide transcription box. When you scroll it down, you don't scroll it here, you place the cursor one second, you place the cursor here and then scroll it, because if you scroll it here, it will, the audio wavelength will be moved. If you play scroll from here, the interface will move. Okay, you can see I have selected here this particular segment, and here you can see the transcription box, right? So by creating the segment, we need to type here for this particular segment, whatever the audio was there in this particular segment, we need to type it here. So I will listen the audio. So to repeat it the particular segment, so after selecting it, and then we need to double click on it, so it will be played continuously until you stop. Okay, here what the speaker was saying, can anyone tell me?
Hello.
Maybe hello.
Yes, hello. We like I said, but in this particular project, whatever the English word they are speaking, we need to type it in English. Whatever the Bengali or Odia or Punjabi words are speaking, they need to type it in your native language. Okay.
Sorry,
So
can you repeat it again?
here, hello is an English word or
Yeah,
Bengali, or what was your native language?
Bengali.
So here, hello is a Bengali word or English word.
English word.
So, as per the guidelines, like I said in the transcription,
Yeah.
English words should be typed in English and the Bengali words should be typed in Bengali. Here,
Yes.
I need to type hello in English or Bengali.
Okay. So for English tag, there's no need to use any
There is
foreign
no
tag.
need of English tags.
Yeah, got it.
Apart
So,
from Bengali or English, if you hear any Telugu or Odia or Punjabi words in that between, you need to mention just foreign speech tag. Those tags will be provided by us. So we will send you the list of the tags. You can
so
easily copy paste it. For the English, you don't need to mention any tag. You can simply type it.
Got it.
Okay. Here, yeah. Yes. Tell me.
no, it's okay. Cool, got it.
Okay. The English words you need to type it in English, and the Bengali or other native language, whatever you are working, you need to type it in your native language. For example, hello in the audio. For example, I am saying hello, kaise ho. Like the speaker said, hello, kaise ho. So that is here. Hello is an English word, and Hindi they have said. For example, we are working in the Hindi audio, so we need to change the input tool here, and we can say type the kaise ho. How to type it means kaise. You need to type it in English using the English letters. Kaise means Kaise. I will type kaise and then I will click on the pen. You can see you can get an options here. So whatever the option is correct, you can select from that option and you can type the rest. Kaise ho. HO ho, if I type means like this. Mera naam like means mem ye naam. Like this, you need to type it in your native language. Here I was a Telugu guy. I will type it in Telugu. Na peru. So here, what I have, for example, in the audio, it was the speaker said is Na peru Hari Prakash. That means in English, my name is Hari Prakash. So the speaker is saying it in Telugu language. So I have typed the by using the input tool. I have typed it in Telugu only, because here there is no English words, na. There is no English words. Hari Prakash is the name, so you can type it in your native language. For the names or anything, you can type it in your native language, but the words like this, you have to type it in English. Okay.
Okay.
So then, Here it was hello.
One question here.
Yes.
So in Bengali, it's like chair, table. We use Bengali. It's also chair, table, as I guess English, right? So it's like also vitamin. This is also an English word, but in Bengali we called it also vitamin. So for these
Vitamin.
kind of
Vitamin.
words, should we use Bengali or English?
You are saying that vitamin, right?
Yeah,
So
vitamin, chair, table. These are English words, right?
yes, English
I-
words, whatever.
but
If,
in Bengali, we
yes, that is what I have explained you in the starting. If it is you are commonly using it Bengali also, that is not a issue. But here the word is English, right?
yeah, what is English?
So we need to type it in English.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Got it.
Yeah. So I have created this create segment, and I have typed the transcription, and then I will click on the add. Okay. So if I found that any mistakes I have typed or spelling mistakes, I need to open it again. When you click on it here in the edit option, you can easily edit that. You can edit that, and you can see the save option here. You can click on it, you can save. And I found out that entire segment was wrong. What I have transcribed, I need to delete it, means you can simply delete it, and then you can add the transcription again, and then you can add. Okay, so I have created this particular segment. I have given the transcription. Then I will move to the next segment. For playing the next wavelength audio, I will click on the speaker which I have created. I will click on after that, and I will play it. Here, from here to here, there is a silence part or noise. We don't need to create any particular segment for it. And then
Hello.
again I heard here the same speaker one. So what I have to do? Sorry guys. So what I have to do here? Again here I need to create the speaker one. To creating a speaker, first I need to click on the speaker, whatever I need to create, and then I will place the cursor at exactly at the wavelength. I will click on it, and then again I will hold the cursor, and I will drag and drop it. Exactly I will mark the wavelength. So we cannot mark the extra silence or anything. Exactly we need to mark it. So that's why by zooming was important here to have a clear visibility of how to mark and where to mark. We have to zoom in the wavelengths. Okay, so then again I will click on the segment, and I will play it. I will double click on it. Same hello, they said hello. I will type hello again, and I will add it, and then I will go to the next.
Hello. আপনি কে বলছেন?
Here the speaker was changing, right? So I need to create, sorry guys, once this added, you have to deselect it by clicking on it. So it will be deselected, and then you can click on the speaker. Here there is a other voice was coming, that is speaker 2. I will click on the speaker 2, and then I will place the cursor exactly like the wavelength, and I will hold it, and I will drag it. Now you can ask me here why you have created this gap. There is a gap, and here also there is a gap of the same speaker when the same speaker is speaking. Why you have created this into two parts, and why you have created this into one segment? So I have an explanation for this. Did you guys have a doubt now? Why I have created it? Did you guys got that doubt or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So here, let me explain the rules. Here, the maximum length of the segment should be 15 seconds, and if any word was breaking at the exactly 15 seconds, we can mark it up to 14 seconds. Okay, where at the 15 second, there would be no word breaking. The word has to be completely here in the audio while we are creating the segment in that particular segment. Like hurry, in hurry, ha will not be in a separate segment, or re will not be in a separate segment. Hurry have to be in one segment only. Okay, in exactly at 15 seconds, if you got the word breaking, means you can move it slightly to 14 seconds or 13 seconds, wherever it was the word was completely audible. Okay, and then apart from maximum length, in between the same speaker is speaking continuously, in between the speech, if there is any gap of 1 second or more than 1 second, we need to break it down into two parts. Okay, here how to calculate there is a gap of 1 second or not means, so how to calculate, I will place the cursor exactly at the first segment I have created. For example, I have a doubt that from here to here there is a gap of 1 second. I have a doubt. So I will place the cursor here, and then you can see the timing 0 1 second 308 milliseconds. So I will add 1 second for this. What we have to get 2 second 308 milliseconds. So I will slowly move the cursor. So and then I will place the cursor at next wavelength which I need to start again. For example, I haven't created this segment. So now I need to check. I will place the cursor here 321. I will close slowly down. We need to get 321, 2 seconds 321. But here what I have get 2 seconds 703. That means it was more than 1 second or less than 1 second gap there is.
More than 1 second.
So that's why we are creating a separate segment here. Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, and then here also you can see
Hello.
there is a gap here. So I will check again. You can do like this also. You can place the cursor here and you can click on it. It will jump 1 second by using this. See here, by using this you can jump 1 second. That will be easily calculated.
This is nice feature.
Okay. So I will place the cursor here. So and then I will use it. See here the check the timing 377. You can see from here also 378, and then when click on it, it is 4 seconds 789 milliseconds. But is there any gap of 1 second or less than 1 second gap here?
Less than 1 second.
Yes.
Less than 1 second.
So that's why I have created this entirely as a one segment. Okay.
1 second.
So and then
Nice
I will
explanation.
click on this segment which I have created, and then I will go scroll it down and I will give the transcription. Okay, here I will play. How to play continuously means I will click on it, I will select it. By clicking on it, it will be holometer. That way we can know it was selected, and then I will double click on it.
আপনি কে বলছেন? হ্যালো। আপনি কে বলছেন? হ্যালো।
Until you stop, it will automatically play on.
আপনি কে বলছেন?
Okay.
হ্যালো। আপনি কে বলছেন? হ্যালো।
He was saying hello, something happening call J, right?
আপনি কে বলছেন?
So that words you need to type it in Bengali.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to change the language input tool. For example, he said aapni. I will type it in Hindi, but I don't have Bengali tool, so that's why I was typing aapni. What he was saying?
আপনি কে বলছেন?
Aapni. So whatever to have to type like this. Okay, we don't need to mention anything.
Here one question.
Yeah.
For the English word hello, should
Yes.
I need to use capital
For
letter?
capital, we are don't using now. For the only initial tags like RPI abbreviations, we are using the initials. For the rest of it, we are not using the initial the capital letters, but we have to use the punctuations accordingly.
We need to use punctuation title. Okay.
But we are not using the capitals in the general transcription terms as of now. If there is any update, we will let you know about it. But only for the initials, we are using capital letters now. And then I will continue.
For the initial one, we need to use all capital letters, right?
What initials we need to use all the capital letters.
Capital letters, so letter by letter. Yeah, got it.
So then I will continue. I have created the speaker. So if you can see the speaker 2 was kind of highlighted here. If I click on the speaker 1 to create the speaker 1 here, I need to click on the speaker 1 to create the speaker 1 here. I will click on it. You can see the speaker 2 is already highlighted. If I click on the speaker 1 means here the previous segment will be changed. Okay, every time how to change it to again speaker 2 is you just simply slip on speaker 2 and then you have to deselect it. For deselecting and selecting, you have to click on that particular segment like this. You can see if I click on it, if I again click on it, it will select and deselect. Now I can select it. You can see it was not changed because it was not selected already. So now again I need to. From here I got a speaker 1. I will click on the speaker 1 and then I will place the cursor exactly at the wavelength and I will drag and drop it. Okay. So again here there is a speaker 2. I will click on the speaker 2 and then I will drag and drop it. Exactly at the wavelength we need to mark.
আপনি কি বলছেন একটু জানতে পারি কি?
আমার হচ্ছে জয়প্রকাশ রাও। কিভাবে কথা মানে ঠিক আছে।
So again here there is a speaker 1 or speaker 2 here.
Yes.
Speaker
আপনি কি
1.
বলছেন
So what we need to do to creating a speaker? Can anyone tell?
Click on the speaker 1.
Okay.
Drag and drop the whole segment. Hold
First
the cursor,
place the
click
cursor
here.
exactly
Yeah.
and hold the cursor and drag and drop it. So if you drag it up to here means you can adjust. When you place the cursor here, you can see there is a adjust option. You can adjust it. Okay, in the starting or in the end. But you have see the cursor like this means entire segment will be moved. Okay, so you have to place the cursor exactly at the end of the segment or starting of the segment if you need to adjust the segment. Okay, wavelength. So again I will select it, I will click on it and I will give the transcription and I will deselect it and then I will go to the next.
আমার হচ্ছে জয়প্রকাশ রাও। কিভাবে কথা মানে ঠিক আছে।
Here also there is a babble. So here what we have to do is we have to select the first segment first and then click on it and then we will type whatever we have got and then we will use the babble tag here because here he babbled na. Wait, I will play again.
আমার হচ্ছে জয়প্রকাশ রাও। কিভাবে কথা মানে ঠিক আছে।
Right, if he was babbled or what here. So if I typed something and if I again I need to play it, it was automatically added. So I need to continue from here. I will type here and then I will use the babble tag because he was babbling there and then I will continue the rest of the speech. Okay, like this. If you have any noise or anything in between, you need to use the noise. We don't use music, we have to use music, or laughing we need to use laughing, or coughing we need to use coughing, and then you can simply add it. Okay, up to now do you have any doubt guys, how to use the where to use the babble tags or tags, or how to do the segments and how to do the transcription, where to do the transcription? What are the points I have explained up to now? Do you have any doubts?
Clear for myself.
Yes, clear. No doubt.
Okay, and continuing next, here you can see again the speaker 2 was selected. You can simply see if you select on here also it will be deselected. So to deselect it, it will be like this up, then only it will be deselect and then you can continue the rest. Yeah, you are asking any doubt?
জয়প্রকাশ কথা বলছেন তো আমি
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like previously where I worked, okay, so the way we used to do it, like I mean, we used to create a segmentation first. Like I mean, the speaker 1, speaker 2, and the overlap is here, right? So while we are listening to that audio, okay, then we need to select the option, and after that we need to select the segment. Okay, but over here, like in these three options, okay, these are already like these are already there. Okay, speaker 1, speaker 2, and the overlap. So it would be automatically selected. So while we listen to that segment, okay, we just need to select it that which one is speaker 2, which one is speaker 1.
In the shape it was there. For this we need to select it manually.
We need to select the segmentation manually, right?
Yes, in the shape it will be automatically there. We need to adjust there and we can select the speaker there, but here we need to select it manually.
Answer: what is the maximum duration of each segment for one single segment?
That
What
is
would be the maximum
15
duration?
seconds, 15 seconds, and then you need to break it. Here there is a more than 15 seconds. I will explain you this. Like I will play from here. I will place the cursor. You can see the timing 29:49. I will play it. You can see it.
আমি আসলে আমি বেইলা শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠান থেকে ফোন করেছিলাম আপনাকে। তো আমরা কি একটু আমাদের মানে প্রাথমিক শিক্ষা থেকে একটু আলোচনা করতে পারি? 15 মিনিট কথা বলার সময় হবে কি আপনার সাথে?
হ্যাঁ আছে, আচ্ছা বলুন।
বলছিলাম যে আপনার যেটা হচ্ছে আপনার প্রাথমিক শিক্ষা কোথা থেকে শুরু হয়েছে বা কি সেই বিষয়টি।
See, up to here, right? It was played. So you can see
Yes.
I will place the cursor here. From 2959, what we have got? 37,149. It means it
Yes,
was less than 15 seconds or more than 15 seconds.
it is more than 15 seconds. 37
But
seconds,
if you find
148 millisecond.
any 1 second gap in between, there is no 1 second
Mm,
gap, right? In
no,
between.
sir.
তো
So
আমরা
what we have to do generally, we have to select entire whatever the speaker was saying, and we have to select like this. But for us, there is a transcription guidelines. The maximum length of the segment should be 15 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to break it down. I have selected the entire thing. Here you can see I have selected the entire thing, but as per the guidelines it was wrong. We need to break it down into two parts. So where to break it down, because it was there continuously, and I can here the segment was starting at 2901. Okay, so I will place the cursor at 35901. So generally what we have to guys do, we have to create exactly 15-second segment, right? But up to here you can see.
তোমার হবে তো ঠিক আছে তো? আর শিক্ষা নয় থাকলে একটু আলোচনা করতে পারি, 15-20 মিনিট কথা বলার সময় হবে তো?
So if here if there any word is breaking means, what can I do is I can adjust the timing to this 35,321. The exact count is 35,951, but I can adjust it to because if there is a word break, I thought so. If there is any word break is, we can easily create a segment below 15 seconds. Okay, we do every time we don't need to create exact 15 seconds. If the word is breaking, we can create it below 15 seconds, like 14 seconds or 13 seconds, wherever the word is correctly audible in the selected segment. And then from here again I will select the speaker, and then I will create the speaker, same speaker. So like
Okay.
this we need to break.
So you mean to say, yeah, yes, sir. So you mean to say, like in one single sentence, okay, if there is any word breaking, so we can create that segment, okay, below 15 seconds. But if that sentence is going on a proper rush, if there is no word breaking, then we can create that in one single segment. That's what you're saying?
Yes, like exactly 15 seconds we need to count, na? Like what 15 seconds means, we need to count it 15 seconds. While placing the cursor it was 2913. So by adding 15 seconds we need to create the segment like 35,913, right?
Hmm.
So but here what I have done, 35,333, because 600 milliseconds I have decreased, because I thought there is a word breaking here. If there is any word breaking was there, we can use this liberty and we can decrease reduce this segment below 15 seconds. If there is
Okay.
if there is no word breaking, we can select up to 35,900. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's clear. And one more thing,
Yeah.
the starting time, okay, you have shown us the guidance, okay, how do we check the spelling mistakes? So could you please show it to me again?
Spelling mistakes, there will be no pop-ups are added here. For the spelling mistakes like shape, for English, we, for example, so see here, I have typed something, you can see the spellings. But for the Bengali, you don't get the spelling mistakes. But for the English,
Okay.
you can get it. If you typed it wrongly, you can simply get a red line where you can
Hmm.
add it. Okay.
Okay, here.
For the native language, you don't get it. So then I will explain the.
হ্যাঁ আছে আচ্ছা বলুন।
Again, here there is a speaker too. I will say click on the speaker and I will select it.
বলছিলাম যে আপনার যেটা হচ্ছে আপনার মানে প্রাথমিক শিক্ষা কোথা থেকে শুরু হয়েছে বা কি সেইরকম বিষয়ে একটু জানতে চেয়েছিলাম।
So I heard the second voice here. I will play once again here. Please use both earphones. That will be clearly, because the right one speaker is audible in one right earphones, and the other speaker is audible in left earphones. Okay, while playing.
সেইরকম বিষয়ে একটু জানতে চেয়েছিলাম।
So did you guys hear any second voice here?
সেইরকম বিষয়ে একটু জানতে চেয়েছিলাম।
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So this particular wavelength, what we need to do? We need to we can create a speaker one like this, or because I can hear there is a other
The
voice.
second speaker, there was not clearly understandable. There was like overlapping kind of thing.
So
I
what
feel.
we need to do now there, we
So
have to
from
use the overlap segment.
Overlap.
overlap.
Need to click on overlap
Okay.
and mark the segment as
So,
overlap.
and before that, the speaker one is audible clearly, na? Up to where there is overlap.
সেই বিষয়টি জানতে চেয়েছি
So from here, I was getting the overlap. We need to listen to this, right?
সেই বিষয়টি জানতে চেয়েছিলাম
So
Yeah.
you can get from here there is an overlap. So that's why I will select the segment and then I will select it and I will select like this. And up to here, the speaker one is audible clearly, na?
Yeah.
So we will create the speaker one like this, and then I will again play this segment. Play it.
জানতে চেয়েছিলাম
So and then again in the last Nechinam or something, I can clearly audible clearly, na? There is no overlap. Right, I will play again. You can check.
জানতে চেয়েছিলাম
Guys, what the speaker is saying here?
জানতে চেয়েছিলাম
Giechilam, something like that.
জানতে
Yes.
চেয়েছিলাম
So the Chechilam was separately audible or it was in the overlap segment only audible? While
Chesilam was
Giechilam is audible. Speaker one.
separately, right? Separately, there is no overlap. So now how to do is up to where there is an overlap particular in the wavelength, we will select that particular wavelength as a overlap, and from here there is a Chechilam was separately audible, na, from speaker one.
Yeah.
So again I will create the speaker one tag here. Like this we need to do. Okay, you understand how I have divided this because from here to here I can clearly speaker one is audible separately, and then in the wavelength from here to here in the audio there is an overlap like a speaker one speaker two voices, or I can hear both time the speech, okay, was audible at the both time, and then from here again the speaker one voice is audible separately. So that's why I have created this first segment here, speaker one, and then overlap, and then the speaker one segment. If it is speaker two also, we can mark it speaker two, because if you hear the speaker two audio separately means without overlap, we can mark it speaker two. Okay, but here it is a speaker one, so that's why I am marking it speaker one. Like
If
that, we
both
need.
the speaker talking at the same time, then how we will
Like
segregate
this,
there?
segregate. We already created, na? Here the both
Yeah,
speakers are
but
saying.
here is we can identify that speaker one is speaking like 5 second and speaker two is 7 second, and when both the speaker talking at the same time.
Yes, both the speakers taking at the same time. That particular section we need to mark it as an overlap.
Okay.
But here I can play here. But it is a separate word means we need to divide it. If it is not a separate word means we don't need to divide it. If it is a half break word means we can create an overlap segment like full. If kilam was a separate word, I don't know the language, so that's why you have to tell guys. Kilam was a separate word or what?
it was Chechilam, so you maybe miscut it.
Here from here, right?
Yeah.
So that's why zooming the wavelength is exactly important here. So you can vertically also zoom in. So I can hear Chechilam separately, right?
Yes, Chechilam.
So here the Chechilam was audible separately. So that's why I was creating the speaker one, because it was Chechilam was saying by speaker one, and here the in this particular section. See, if Chechilam in the Chechilam, Che was audible in the overlap section, means we have to delete it and we have to make it as a single, because Chechilam in the Chechilam, Che was in the overlap section.
It's basically, can I explain? Basically, it's where two was talking and it's where one is talking. But it's where two sound is very low. Speaker one sound is clear. So here we heard the sound clearly of speaker one Che Islam, but at the same time speaker two was talking. So I think we can consider it as overlap.
Because same voice, two speakers are speaking at the same time.
Same time.
Wherever the two speakers are speaking at the same time, we consider it as an overlap. Wherever we have heard a single voice, we will create a separate segments for them. Okay, but
Yeah.
in the overlap, after the in the finishing stage, speaker was saying Che Chilam. So in the Che Chilam, Che was in the overlap section and Chilam was separately was there. But the word will be fully when you spoke Che Chilam, right?
Yeah.
So at the time we don't need to divide the Chilam separately. We can add the like I said, there will be no word breaking in the segment. Whatever the segment is, there will be no word breaking. If there is a word breaking, we need to select that after the segment without word breaking. Here Chilam was separately audible, so that's why I will select this Chilam also in this, because here in the Che there is a overlap, right? I will play once again. If you hear Che Chilam separately means Che Chilam fully means we can create. So I can hear na Che Chilam separately. Here the Che Chilam separately audible, or in the overlap segment any Che Chilam word was there. Can you guys tell me? I will play once again if you need. You can listen.
প্রাথমিক শিক্ষকতা থেকে শুরু হয়েছিল আর কি সেই বিষয়টি জানিয়েছিলাম।
Now it's separately, I think.
Okay, so that's why we have created separately. If it is a Che in any if any in the Che Chilam word, if anything was there in the overlap segment means we can delete this segment and then we can add the Che Chilam also in the overlap, because in the overlap Che Chilam word the Che was in the overlap segment. Any particular because if you divide that means the word will be broken na.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to create like this. So this is the transcription guidelines. So rest of the speech we have to listen and we have to find out wherever we need to mark the speaker speaker 2 and the overlap. These are the segmentation guidelines. And now coming to the transcription guidelines, I have already explained you. Whenever you are listening the English words, you need to type it in English, and whenever you are getting the native Bengali words, you need to type it in Bengali. And one more thing, I will again show you the these things. So you can see here in the example initial tag. So I will copy and paste it here. So I will sorry guys, it's not copy like it. So here you can see initial tag we need to use. Initial tag, the abbreviations, acronyms we have to use initial tag, because here SBI there is an abbreviation full form for it na. So that's why we use the initial tag, and then in between we need to here use the capital letters for the initial tags. But you can see for the bank is an English word, we will not use any foreign tag speech or anything. But here SBI is an English word, but it is an abbreviation. So that's why you are using the initial tag. For example, in the audio, for example, this line for your better understanding, I am saying SBI bank gaya tha, SBI bank mein line bahut lamba tha. So here how to type the transcription means this like this we have to type. Whenever the audio was there, SBI is an initial word na. So that way we will use the initial tag, and bank is an English word. We will type it in bank like in English. Gayata is in Hindi, and
One
again
question
SBI.
here.
Yes.
Pin also like PIN. Pin also has abbreviation. So
What?
should we PIN pin?
Ah.
So pin is also have
What?
abbreviation. It's
Yes.
abbreviation, right?
Yes.
Like NASA. NASA
Yes.
also
For that
have.
also we need to use the initial tag. Whatever those have the acronyms or abbreviations, we need to use this initial tags.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. And here bank and May is a Hindi word. for that simple Hindi word you cannot type in English, because whatever the native language you need to type it in native. You can see bank में line बहुत लंबा था. So like this we need to transcribe. Okay. And here the tags. Here there is no overlap tag as of now. But what we have to do is, here we have created the overlap segment. Na? Here you don't need to type anything.
No.
Okay. I have created up here, and then it is a speaker one, right? Like guys, you said it was a speaker one. So here in that particular overlap section, we don't need to type anything. For a separate section, we have to type. But for this particular overlap section, we don't need to type. What we have to do is, we can simply use the overlap tag. That's it. We will do. We cannot. We will not add any transcription for that particular segment of overlap. Okay. We just add the overlap tag here. That's it. Do you guys have any doubt about this?
No. Yeah.
No, clear.
And Chechilam we will type in Bengali, because it was separately audible and we have created a separate segment. So we will only for the overlap segment we will don't provide the transcription. We justly use the overlap tag. That's it. Okay. And then again initial tag unclear, where the if, in the speech if any particular word was not clearly understandable means particular, we can use the unintangible tag like this. Unclear tag, coughing, laughing, music. Okay, these are the tags, and there are many lists available. We will share you in the guidelines. That will be you can easily check. And any doubt, guys?
No, bro.
Someone raised the hand. Yes, sir.
One thing,
Yes, Islam. Islam.
okay.
Sorry. Yes. You can ask.
Actually, I was thinking the speaker one was using sounds like something like this.
Filler
So
words you need to type it by using the hashtag. In your native language you need to type it. That also will be in the guidelines.
okay.
Filler words, for the filler words if the in for example like I said, one second. Here the speaker one is saying something, and in between after the English words, here the speaker 2 was responding as an overlap. Like I said, that will be not considered as an overlap, or it will be considered as an overlap if the other speaker is responding, like in a filler word. What
Actually, not responding. She was speaking and using this sound, and the speaker two was not speaking that time. So, what can we do here?
No, aha means we have to use that filler word.
Okay.
We have to use that, but for the single speaker, where the speaker is saying, when I am saying something, let me remember, like that. If I saying is that particular section, I was using the filler words. Now we need to use the hashtag, and we need to type it in our native language. Like in Telugu, I will type C. Like or in Hindi, I will type. I will use the hashtag, and then I will type like this.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Like this we need to type. But I am saying that in the overlap section, if I said any response was getting, speaker one is saying something, and if any response was getting means, at that particular filler where the other speaker was responding with the filler word means, we don't need to type the filler word. We just use the unintangible tag. You got the difference what I am saying, or you didn't understand the point?
Yeah, I got it. Actually, the unintelligible tag should be used when the second speaker is doing the
Filler
filler
words,
right?
At the same time when the speaker one is saying something. That section will not consider, we will not consider as an overlap, but we will use the where the speaker 2 is responding with the filler word, we use the unintangible tag. And if any word in between where the speaker is saying, if you not understand it clearly means, we will also use the unintangible tag. Okay, so as of now that's it guys, the training has been completed. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Now you know how to create a speaker and how to do the transcription and what are the transcription main guidelines. Now, apart from that, I will share you the remaining guidelines. You can go through it in the PDF. You can go through it and you can start the work. Firstly, whoever was ready, you can do the first 5-minute sample. If you have the file loaded with the 14 minutes or 20 minutes also, you can do the first 5 minutes. So we will check the quality. Based on that, if you are doing any mistakes, we can rectify it, and we will take up a training meet again, and then we will explain the things, whatever the rectifications you need to do, and you can work on it. And then you can, if it is okay, and then you can continue the rest of the file. The rest of the file will be paid. Like if it is audio of 20 minutes, you have done the sample 5 minutes first, and it is approved and it was with a good quality, you can continue the rest of the file, and for the 20 minutes you will be get paid. Okay. And any doubt, guys?